What's going on YouTube? Welcome to another video. Joining me here halfway through a deadlift workout apparently. I don't know where the other clips went, so we're starting off at 315, so don't convince yourself that that's what I start off with. I usually start off with a plate, but yeah, working up here, this is going to be fast since I'm already near the working weight, but pulling sumo here, decent lighting, really liking the kind of 3D effect you're getting over here, but yeah, still working on this. Still trying to get back to the pulling speed I had before. Well, I guess we're going 515. Okay, all right. So I have pulled heavier. Sometimes I forget this far in the past of where I've been at. So occasionally I'll mix in these heavier sets to get acclimated, but it is going to take a little bit more time to get back to where I'm at. It's just, I haven't seen a fall off like this since the injury, and I think a lot of it is just stability. And I'll get back there. I'm slowly pushing the limits when I can and trying to see what I can handle, recover from, and kind of go from there. So it's been a little bit difficult. Drop back down here, I think, to 495 for, I'm assuming reps. I think that's my logic in doing that here. But just making sure form is on point, everything's nice and tight, and kind of going from there. So yeah, deadlift is my favorite lift, whether it's sumo or conventional. It just, it really depends on feeling. If I'm fatigued from the day prior, that affects pulling speed and then structure and, you know, just feeling overall comfortable. So you can see there, you know, it wasn't my ideal workout, but it is what it is. And moving on to the SSB here. So squats and deadlifts, again, foundational to almost every leg development and every workout that you do. Just provide so many different benefits, strength benefits, and then mobility benefits just from going full range as much as you can and being applicable in real life. So whether you're picking stuff up or having to bend stuff down, being able to squat and deadlift with load is super important. So find a variation you like. Like I said, I've been loving this Kabuki Transformer bar. I haven't gone back to any straight bar yet. This is, you know, there's I guess a stigma. It looks like an intimidating bar, so most people don't use it, so they'll just go with the straight bar. And I love that it's usually available and I can make the modifications that I need. And just super, super useful. Can get a bunch of different functions without having to buy a bunch of bars. So, you know, do whatever you're going to do in order to make the progress that you need to make, as long as it's consistent and you stay safe. So that's why I keep using it, and I don't have to stress my forearms or whatever. Don't have to wear wrist wraps when I'm squatting, so I think I'll stick with it. So fun little thing to use, and then just a lot of different tools you can utilize. So again, we're running with this. We're doing an SSB day. I'm calling them both SSB, but one of them is more of a traditional SSB and one's more of like a low bar. And they'll go heavier on the low bar for sure, just because I can sit a little bit more further back. And then this is for just additional hypertrophy, strength, or whatever. That, you know, kind of a high bar type of experience there. So single leg press, you know, I've been trying to do some more unilateral stuff, and I may have to do that for the leg presses because I can just straight up max a lot of them out. I'm really good at leg press, and it's mainly because of how I'm built. Like I said, long lower leg, short upper leg, and then a big stomach. So my knees hit my chest and stomach pretty quickly during these sets. So the time under tension isn't always the greatest, and you can go wider and try to figure out other stuff. But yeah, I don't know. It's just not ideal, and that's just always been the case with me. And leg press, unfortunately, since the majority of people, this is their primary leg mover. There's some sort of leg press thing, you know what I mean? So it really just depends on you know, what your goals are. But if you're doing other exercises, your bases are likely covered. So I don't, you know, all this stuff is just a little extra to keep things moving. And this is a super heavy duty leg press, so it's a little intimidating to use. And there's really only one level to load plates, but you can put a bunch and then add bands. I like the traditional, like the 90-degree one, the leg press where it's vertical, which is I was doing before, though. There is a weight limit on what you can do, and I've kind of already maxed that out. So yeah, I don't want to break a machine or have it come crashing down on me. So we are trying to find other things to do. So here's another angle, and you can kind of see where my knee already hits the chest, and, you know, just kind of doing what I can do. You know, there's other leg exercises you can do. It's good to have the unilateral workouts or exercise just to kind of keep things balanced and kind of go from there. So I'm just experimenting. There's a couple of different leg presses, all that hit certain different, ranges of motion. You just have to figure out which one is going to like work best for you. So, ideally I'd like to do heavy stuff in the leg press, but it depends on the machine mainly when you're trying to figure out which one you want to do. Traditional hamstring curl here, I really like this one, different from the lying down, a little bit more leverage. And sometimes I feel like my legs are not functioning the way they should, especially after the whole workout and everything. So it's nice to be able to kind of isolate them and go from there. And then this one, you kind of just switch the pad around on both levels, and then you can kind of see how it works there. So I've showed this to you so many times, but just kind of really showing how it works at this point too. And then yeah, it's like doing a preacher curl. So super nice pump that you get, a little bit different from like the lying leg curl, which I really love the lying leg curl. But this one just helps you isolate, change things up, and not be as bored in the workouts when you're doing the same stuff over and over again. So, you got to do what you got to do. Okay, so chest and shoulders here, we're going wide grip bench. So again, touch and go is not something I really like. I really like to do pauses. Sometimes they'll be touch and go-y when I'm warming up though. But once I really get to that heavier weight though, you'll see the pauses and nice controlled pauses, and just really trying to drive myself into the bench and stay nice and tight and kind of go from there. We're trying to work up to some pretty heavy bench and do things that we weren't able to do on bench before. I think the most I benched ever was like 350. But haven't really been back there in a while, so I'm going to try to work my way back up and go from there. So we just got to earn our stripes and go up and figure out the frequency that we can train it and the rep range, which I think I've figured out. It's in the program, so we just have to bide our time, build the muscle around it, and then kind of go from there and make the progress that we need to do more reps at heavier weights, and then be able to essentially have that translate over into heavier singles, and then be selective with our singles. So that's my training philosophy there, but also trying to have everything trend in the right direction, heavier squats, deadlifts, overhead press. And that's been mainly what my, focus has been on, and then using the dumbbells to assist or whatever. But really enjoying the progress that I've been at. Heavier OHP, so these are starting to come back. I think I just have to figure out the frequency that I can train them, because sometimes going too heavy does take out a lot of you, and you really have to, you suffer on some other stuff, so you have to pick and choose your battles sometimes. But that's the magic of controlling your training, is you can decide how heavy you want to go. If you want to do rep work and stuff like that, you just have to figure out what that frequency looks like for you. So there have been a couple times where I've tried to go heavier than this and it just wasn't working out. So I think I'm going to stick with the program, run it, and then when the time is right, I'll be back up in the 200s again. And, with bench going the way it's going, it should carry over. Like, we're doing a lot of pressing, which is going to contribute to the overall overhead press with dumbbells and the barbell when it comes to benching. So I think we'll be there. And then we're doing the hypertrophy stuff to build muscle around these movements, to have the reinforcement and the the next level to be able to push and get to where you want to need to be. So I've always liked pressing. I've always found, even though don't have the leverages for it, I've just found like a nice comfort in it. I can find my groove pretty easily, and it's pretty, I don't know. I look forward to pressing. It's a nice, there's nothing like a chest pump, a shoulder pump, upper body pump. It's harder to get lower body pumps, and sometimes when you get them, they feel a little uncomfortable. So it really just depends on, how you respond. And I've just been a hyper responder to upper body. Again, not the biggest dude, but my upper body just grows so much faster than my lower body. Whenever I go up, I tend to go up shirt sizes, fluctuate shirt sizes more than pant sizes. So take with it what you will. But thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. See you in the next one.
Thanks for watching the latest video. If you want to help support the channel, I actually own my own wet shaving and grooming e-commerce website where everything's handmade by me. It's www.apexsoaps.com, and you can get a 10% off code using wet shaver. We've got some cool scents here. We've got some Coca-Cola scents, a horchata scent, traditional barbershop, just some really cool stuff. And you can purchase samples or you can buy the whole set. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out via email. Be quick to respond. Thanks for watching.